Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and finally we are going to do 8.1.6 easy path for completion. The path we're going to attempt is going to be seeing red Caltrops with acclimation. We're going to do this path because you need all mutant champions and they are good against Scytalis as well, the end boss. So just very quickly, suggested counters is you can bring any mutant champions and they will work. Whenever they will be immunity denied, you will get a fury on yourself, increasing your damage by 35% with a max stack of 10. And there's also Caltrops, there's also Escalation and Coolant Leak. So the best champions here are going to be somebody like Colossus, somebody like Iceman, who are already bleed immune. You can just dex back, get those Furies, and you can start and go in and start killing. Now, Scytalis is going to be the last boss. Try to have use champions that have built-in prowesses on them. More on that later in the video. But before we jump onto the path, guys, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notifications. All of that really helps me out a lot and helps me grow the channel. So the team we have brought in is going to be a Colossus with Omega Red Synergy. Now you notice I'm just dexing back and I'm getting Furies because every time as a mutant attacker you will deny any debuff on you because of immunity, you will get a Fury to a max stack of 10. Now because I am dexing back, Caltrop should apply bleeds on me, but because I'm immune, I'm getting those Furies very quickly. So it would be a very quick and easy fight. The team I've brought in is going to be a Colossus with Omega Red and Archangel and also Apocalypse with Cable. So just slowly bringing him down, trying him to throw his an SP1 so I can take a little less block damage, and I'll go back in and kill him. So simply put, for the whole path, any mutant champion will work as long as they have some kind of immunity. Even if they don't have immunity, after every 5 hits, all the debuffs are removed from you as an attacker. But it's much faster and much easier if you have somebody with immunity. Right now, Colossus is taking out Punisher, and I'll see you on the next fight. Next defender is going to be a Spidey 2099. Again, a very easy defender to deal with. And with this fun path, you can have a lot of fun with Cable because Cable, whenever you will get a bleed on yourself, you will degen the opponent. Now I'm using Parry and Heavy, and I'm also using Dexes, so I can get bleeds from Caltrops, and that is also giving Spider-Man degen, so he's just melting away. So having somebody like Colossus or Cable is a really fun one because you won't take damage, and the degens will kill off the opponent. So just there. Again, I'm just swiping back and the degens are killing off. So just a fun little interaction. If you just want to bring Cable, he should be able to bring down all the defenders very easily because of dashing back and getting bleeds from Caltrops. Now next defender is going to be a Moleman. I'm going to use an Omega Red. Now Omega Red also has a lot of fun with bleeds and with Caltrops because if he has bleeds, he can activate his death field and he can apply more death spores. Now, Moleman does have an ability where he can shrug off debuffs, but if you have at least 8 to 10 of those death spores on the opponent, it reduces the ability accuracy of Purify. So, Moleman cannot purify the stuns, and you can just go in and slowly play it off. So, Omega Red is a good option here. You can also use Apocalypse as a good option here. Anybody with a passive stun like White Magneto can work here. You can also use here your Storm Pyramid X. So these are some good options. You can also use Bishop here. So all of them work really well. But I've just given you other options anyway. If you want, just make sure you bring any mutant champion. Just hold block, let Moleman throw a heavy attack, and then you can go back in and attack. So there are plenty of different options. This is a very fun and easy path with all of your mutants. You should be able to take down most of the defenders easily and have a good team ready for the end boss that is going to be Scytalis. The next defender is going to be America Chavez. Now with her again, there are two things you need to take care about. One, if she charges a heavy, let her throw all of her three hits before you go in and attack. Do not let her activate her negative zone in her heavy attack. That is going to be really annoying and will give a lot of return damage to you. And secondly, just keep her to an SP1 only. Do not push her to an SP2 because that does a lot of damage and can be unblockable as well. I am just using an Archangel, and because he's also getting extra bonus from Apocalypse, he just melts Chavez down. But you can literally use any champion. You can still use a Cable with Apocalypse and just stack on those degens. You can also use a Colossus as long as you keep her below 1 bar of power. And when she charges a heavy, you let her charge all three hits and then you hit her, and not let her go into the negative zone. This is a pretty straightforward and easy fight, and you should be able to clear her easily without losing a champion. Next defender is going to be a Jabari Panther. Just bring in a champion who is immune to bleeds, and that will work really well. Just be careful that she's going to cleanse the first stun. I wasn't careful, I got hit. But again, I've used Colossus and I've just Dex back, and because of the Caltrops bleed and immunity, I got the Furies from seeing red node, and now I can just simply wait for her and reparry her and do my heavy attacks, and that should be able to kill Jabari off easily and very quickly. Again, you can use other champions as well. Just remember, this is going to be the only annoying fight in this part, so make sure you have the right champion to deal. If you bring in all mutants, that will be enough, and rest is a pretty straightforward Jabari fight, nothing too difficult about it. And the final fight on the path is going to be a Magneto House of X. Now, I did a mistake of bringing a metal champion here, Cable. Now, because of that, there is going to be I'm demagnetized and my ability accuracy will be reduced. So when you do this, I would suggest you not to bring a metal champion, but still, if you don't have any other options, you can still take down Magneto. It is just be a longer fight. You can use an Apocalypse as well. You can use somebody like Old Man Logan. His ability accuracy cannot be reduced. You can also use Colossus. He is armor break immune. So plenty of different options you've got still available. Depends on you who you want to bring in. You should be able to take this fight slowly but easily. Not really a difficult one with all the bleeds, and if you're running willpower, you should be really good. So yeah, that's about for this fight. I'll see you at the boss fight. So welcome to the Scytalis Boss fight. So let's discuss the mechanics before we jump onto each phase individually. Now when you start the fight, there is going to be a corrupted armor on Black Widow that will reduce all incoming damage for her by 85%. This percentage will change according to what phase you're in, so keep that in mind. There is going to be a corrupted armor on her. Second, she will keep throwing snares and traps with SP1 or SP2, again depending on what phase she is in. And our goal is to not get trapped inside it, but actually push her into them so she can get trapped, and that's where you do most of the damage to her. Once she is trapped, you will also get a prowess on yourself, and that will increase your special damage, and that should help you to give damage to her. So remember, she can only take damage, mostly take damage when she is in a trap, and the whole point of the fight is going to be she will throw the snares, she will throw the traps, and we have to get her into one of those and get her stuck in them, and then we can do the damage. Now remember, whenever something very important to remember is whenever you will use a 5-hit combo, any combo in which you use two medium, she will evade the second hit with the beam. Now if you block the beam, you will get power. If you evade the beam, she gets power. So you can use that tactic to push her to an SP1 or SP2 what is required. Now talking about the phases, there are going to be four phases. The first phase is going to be 100% to 81% health. Second phase is going to be 80% and 41% health. And the third phase is going to be 40% to 6% health. And the final one is going to be 5% to 0. Now I will discuss this phases individually, one by one, once we get into the fight. But remember, the basic premise of the fight, how to fight this fight is Citalis will need to use specials to place traps. Once she places the trap, she will need a certain amount of time for them to get active depending what phase you are. Once the traps are active, then you need to push her into the trap with your either basic attacks or heavy attacks or special attacks depending on what phase you are. And once she gets trapped, you can do your damage and bring her down and try to kill her off. That is the whole mechanics of the fight. So now let's jump into the actual fight and talk through each phase individually. So in phase 1, because of corrupted armor, 85% of the damage will be reduced by Black Widow. Now, I would suggest you to use your 5 hit combo, that is medium, light, 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 medium. In the end, she will throw a beam. Now, the target here is to push her to an SP1 just like that, and just right there, she set a trap underneath her. Now, there is a visual bug in the game right now, you cannot see that. All you need to do is to parry in heavy, and she will set the trap. But you have to wait 1.5 seconds before the track is armed. Once you do that, she will be trapped, and then you can go and hit her and throw your specials. And every time you do that, you're going to gain a prowess. Let's check that out once again. We gave her an SP1. Now we will wait for her to throw. In the end, she will throw a projectile. Evade that. There's a trap right under her, and we are waiting for a cooldown. Now the trap is active after 1.5 seconds. Parry, use a heavy attack, and she will go into the trap right there. She was trapped inside, but because she reached on the next threshold for 80%, she went into phase 2. Now on the second phase, you have to push her to an SP2 because she can only activate throw a trap when she is using an SP2. With SP1, she will not set a trap. Once she does set a trap, it will take 3.5 seconds to arm up, and once it is armed up, then you can push her into the trap. Now remember, you can only push her into the trap with either a heavy attack, just like this one, right there, she is trapped there, or you can only trap her while you're using a special attack. Your basic attacks will not work. So the biggest difference here is that you will need in the first phase the traps were from SP1 and you could use basic attacks to push her. In phase 2, the traps are going to be with SP2 only, with 3.5 seconds arm time, and you can only use heavy attacks and specials to trap them inside of that, and you just rinse and repeat. You can also use 4-hit combos and block for to push her to an SP2, and once you have that down, next phase starts at 40%. And anytime during the fight, if you are going to do more than 5% damage on one single hit, her armor, corrupted armor will be back up, which is taken away usually during when the trap is set. So phase 3 will start at 40% health and will stay till 6%. Now here the traps will default back to SP1. So you have to push Scytalis to an SP1 and bait it out, and that will make her set the trap. Now again guys, there's a visual glitch going on to the game, so you will not see the trap, but just keep an eye on it. Just don't cross the threshold where she threw a special one, and then it will take 5.5 seconds for the track to be activated. Once it is activated, again, you can only use heavy and special suit trapper there, so keep doing that, and you can do a lot of damage to that. Now remember, you're gonna get prowess every time you will trap her in the snare, so keep those prowesses with you because they're gonna come in very handy in the last phase. Moving into the last phase, keep an eye on your prowess and the corrupted armor. Corrupted armor potency will be increased to 100% unless you use a special. When you use a special, every hit of the special will reduce your prowess by 1, and that will be consumed by the corrupted armor, reducing the potency of the corrupted armor by 10%. So we will need 10 prowesses here to effectively do any damage to Citalis. It's more advisable to bring in mutant champions because they have their built-in own prowesses. Otherwise, you can do it with any champion, but you will have to need to have at least 10 of those prowesses that you would have gained throughout the fight and having all of them with you. Now, once you take all of those armor prowesses down, then at zero potency, you can easily take her out and you can win the fight. This is not really a difficult one. It is a really fun fight. So I hope you enjoy it and you're able to finish her off. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll be able to answer them for you. So I hope you get her down and congratulations on your easy path for completion. And I'll see you on the next one. You all have a great day, guys. Bye.